a lot more airdrop claims and checkers, a lot of new airdrop updates, as well as a couple testnets near the end of the video. So let's get started. First of all, we have this Atoms Research airdrop checker. Very, very good comprehensive list. Santiago just dropped into the Discord a couple days ago, and here you will find probably you're eligible for at least 5 to 10 of all of these airdrops. So make sure to check this Twitter thread and check your wallets, because most of these are actually expiring very, very soon. A couple more that have been missed, however, is, for example, this Jaeger meme. This is if you've been eligible for some pancake swap transactions, or perhaps you held a little bit of BNB in your wallet, or many other criteria. Otherwise, you also have some criteria for Solana if you've traded on pump.fun, or maybe you have some Pepe tokens on your Ethereum wallets. However, the case, this is currently claimed at 11%, and the more you wait, the smaller the allocation. However, for my own case, I would only get about $6-7 worth in this particular location for meme coin. So you always have to decide if this amount is worth taking on smart contract risk of maybe some of your main wallets. So always remember that exploits and hacks, whether internal or real, they are actually a legitimate threat. Now, that said, we also have a little more reputable project with MATLAB, and these guys have completed the dragon staking. You can collect your Cook tokens if you have staked your Puff Dragon. And finally, if you're still farming Karak, you might be eligible for their initial NFT collection, K1. So if your wallet is eligible, it is probably worthwhile to mint this. Now, staying on the orange theme, much more important news comes from Infinex. You have, as you know, a lot more players playing Bullrun at the moment. There's a lot more interest, and they had to actually make the criteria a lot more steep. So now you actually need to deposit $250 to participate in all of these activities, at least $250, and only first 2,500 players are actually going to be generating any points, any pulls for the upcoming airdrop coming from Infinex, which is almost guaranteed at this point. And another thing, a lot of people ask me about the strategy. I don't really have a strategy. Like, you can choose tokens that you think are going to do best in the next 24 hours, but personally, I just log in at reset and choose stable coins, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it is a very simple and straightforward strategy if you think the market is feeling bearish. Just remember to play as soon as it becomes available, because if everybody chooses stable coins, if you select 5 seconds before the other guy, you will be higher in their rankings. Now, for everyone doing airdrops, it is incredibly important to be around people who are doing the same thing as you effectively. And for this reason, we've started the series of just doing Discord lives a couple months ago. And at the moment, the community is very engaged. We get a lot of questions just regarding everything people are interested in. And then we take an hour to discuss all these topics in real time. This is, of course, a perk of being in a private Discord with people who have the same goals and aspirations as you. If you want to make money with airdrops, this is a big, big help on your journey, potentially. If this is something that you want to be part of, as well as talking with other DeFi degens and airdrop hunters, consider joining our Discord. All the information is always in the first link of every description of every video. And you can also find information about the NFT collection with our DeFi legend Chris. He's been generating 10% in yield, but not in stable coins. So hopefully when the market picks up, we'll be able to get even better entries for all of the farms that we're currently managing. Now, for everyone farming Optimism, we have very good news from the Superstacks campaign. If you've been an early user of Base, WorldChain, Unichain, InkChain, or Sonium, or even Optimism mainnet in the first 2 mainnet months, you are actually going to get a 2x multiplier for all the Superstacks experience generated until May 9th. So as of making of this video, you still have a little bit of time to deposit your liquidity and get the extra boost. We've already covered this in the past, so make sure to check that video if you haven't. But essentially, you deposit liquidity on any of these chains, like on, for example, Sonium or InkChain or others, and you will get extra experience. No doubt this will be important for future Optimism airdrops, so if you're farming this one, make sure to actually get your boost activated. It seems this is still flying under the radar, because last time we covered it, it was about 14,000 participants. Now it's only 16,000, and total value locked is under 50 million, so it could actually be very, very good. Now, speaking of another under the radar opportunity, we have Avantis Endgame until June 1st, you have the last month to participate in this campaign. If you've been farming this one in the past, it's probably a good idea to do the one final push, because there's going to be 500 million trading experience over the next 5 weeks to be shared between users. And the way it works is very straightforward. Basically, there's going to be 5 tiers, and the more you trade, the more fees you actually provide to the platform is going to depend on your rank. One good thing is also that if you have negative P&L, so if you are maybe a new trader or something, there's also a small multiplier for that. But essentially, the more you trade, the better you do. And this is going to be one of those liquidity trading airdrops that might be worth taking just a little bit of exposure. So maybe 500,000 to 1 million in volume is all you might need for a sizable airdrop. And if you think that 500,000 to 1 million of trading volume is hard to achieve, it really isn't. All you need is maybe $1,000 to 50x leverage. And the moment you open a trade, you have 50,000, and you close the trade, another 50,000, because both opening and closing counts as volume in most platforms. So you can actually get to 500,000 in 5 trades if you just want to farm a huge amount of leverage. They've actually updated this to 100x, so you have to be very careful with this one, but opening longs and shorts at the same time, as illustrated in our perpetuals DEX trading strategy, it should be, in theory, safest way to farm, because you will only be paying platform fees. And one last thing, they also have these 0 fee perpetuals where you only pay fees if you win, and if you lose the trade, then you don't pay any platform fees. So this could also be a very interesting beta option to actually explore. Now, for the most sensitive side of things, we have Enzo. Enzo is going to be a blockchain launchpad platform, and you'll be able to do many different stuff, such as run AI commands. You'll be able to do some DeFi over there. You'll also have some social tasks, and most importantly, there's going to be a huge ecosystem. However, it is important to do the pre-registration before May 6th, because by the time you're watching this video, you might still have a couple hours to claim your 3,000 points. And before we jump into testnets, some very important announcements comes from Boop.fund. This is going to be a Pump.fund competitor, and they have a very unique novel tokenomics in play. In short, you will be getting a 5% of all newly launched tokens supply on their platform, but in order to do that, you're going to be needing this Boop token. Now, why is this important? There's also a retroactive airdrop for everyone who has been an meme coin trader on Solana, or maybe you have some Kaito yaps, maybe you have large following on X. Make sure to claim your free Boop tokens on their official website. And let's wrap up with 3 testnet updates. First, we have Aztec. Aztec public testnet is live. If you remember, this was a project we covered way back in 2023 when they received a huge amount of funding. Unfortunately, since then, the project has shut down, and now they're relaunching. If this is going to be worthwhile, you have to decide, but if you've been farming it in the past, definitely you have to keep an eye out on this, because they did mention an airdrop for OG users. And then another one, we have another reminder to do Monad. There's so many wallets farming this, but if you want to be in the top 1 to 0.5% or even higher on the leaderboard, you only need to do about 30-40 transactions. So here is a good list of verified apps you can actually use for Monad activity. And finally, if you've been doing the Bitcoin ecosystem Meso testnet, make sure to do their Galaxy task, because these are very simple social tasks, but if you're farming it, it's going to be a big plus. And that is a wrap for all the updates for today. If you find the content valuable, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below and in our Discord. And if you have questions regarding the NFT collection, we also have a free Telegram where you can ask all the things on your mind. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, have an amazing day.